So
Get your brown paper bag. Go ahead. Breathe into it.
I'm so obsessed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for having me. This means a lot to me. This is like, I love it. And thank you for the love and care you with the interview and just promoting things and just getting it out there. And I think I've had a lot more people follow me now just because of you guys' promo. So thank you for that.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you.
We were matching outfits. You see, look.
Yeah, I said we're matching. We're matching. Nice. I just want to make sure that I share this. I guess we're live already, huh?
Yes. I'm sorry. There's no way to kind of.
No, it's perfect. This is how we do it.
Yes. So everybody, welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. We have Victor Cruz here, and as you can see, but we got to go through our spiel first.
Yeah.
So, welcome to Mama's Cocktail Hour. I am your host, Zeta Lisa.
I'm Elise Nicole.
I'm Jasmin Louisa.
And I'm Nancy G.
And we are Mama's
Cocktail
Hour.
This is your unconventional, outspoken podcast for all things mama, lifestyle, culture, and current events.
And Victor, like, you hit all of that. You hit culture. You hit just amazing father. We know that you're a dad, so shout out to being a dope dad, because we love to highlight dads on this platform. So yeah, I mean, we're so interested, we're so excited. Actor, comedian, producer. You have a acting company in Hell's Kitchen. I want you to tell me a little bit about that. But so we're gonna dive right in. So if you guys don't know, now you know. Victor Cruz.
So for those of you who don't know, who is Victor Cruz?
Oh man, well, geez, thank you so much again for having me on the show. Victor Cruz, I mean, originally from the Boogie Down Bronx, South Bronx, lived for, East Harlem. So I share South Bronx and East Harlem as my home, still in Harlem today. And, not just an actor, stand-up comedian, writer, producer. I mean, I wear so many different hats, but I also have my own acting studio in Midtown, as you mentioned earlier, where I train actors. I prep them for movies and TV, and we also do self-tapes here. So we really prep the actor to look their best. And and of course, father, husband, I've got an amazing family, an amazing supportive wife who's an amazing mom. And
yes,
my life has changed because of her, in so many ways, from just as simple as doing laundry, and separating laundry properly. How about that? I know it sounds silly, but it's the simple things,
How long have you been married?
Man, well, we have been together. We were just friends in high school, and we never dated in high school, but we just became such good friends. And it wasn't until like after high school we got together. So we're technically, this year we celebrate 12 years married.
What?
Wow, that's
Nice.
nice. Very nice.
Let me see. No, wait. I'm gonna screw this up. No, that's right.
Oh, you better get it right.
No, the reason I say that, I'm usually the guy that always knows exactly the years. If you ask her, she never knows. Right? She'll say, "Ask him." He knows. So, no, but we've technically been together. To be honest with you, it's been about 22 years.
Wow.
We dated for 10 years, and very old fashioned, like we didn't live together before that. It wasn't until like a couple months, I think, before we got married that we actually started living together, because we had to establish where we were going to live and things like that. But no, I very old fashioned, take my hat off and, get grandma's respect and, just all that good stuff.
You better get Abuela's respect. That's first and foremost.
Listen, if I didn't get Abuela's respect, I was not going to get Thanksgiving.
That wasn't going to happen.
Yep.
I love that. I mean, we so love Tita, and we want to dive right in.
Let's do it.
So I guess another one of the questions that we were having is, when exactly did you know that you wanted to become an actor?
So I've known since I was 11 years old that I wanted to be in the entertainment business. I was very clear that this was the business I was going to be a part of. I didn't quite know exactly how, but I actually originally, at the age of 11, I used to actually draw cartoons. And I knew that back then I wanted to create my own cartoon and that I wanted to voice all the characters. I was a huge fan of like Mel Blanc, Looney Tunes, and like Mike Judge with Beavis and Butthead. And I was a big fan of all that stuff. And so I wanted to do that. And at some point along the way, I got into musical theater, which is where I became very friendly with my wife. We became friends. But I also went to SUNY Purchase, where I studied just straight acting. And then I got more into acting, more into producing. And so the whole cartoon, the animation stuff went on the back burner a little bit, or just hung on the back of my mind somewhere. And so it wasn't until recently that I started to live my childhood dream. Now later in life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that happened during COVID?
That happened during COVID. I had Tita's voice. I knew Tita's voice. I've been doing Tita's voice for years. I would call friends. I would prank them, and I would prank call different places with that voice. I would call let me call Ricky so que la nena's costume.
Oh my God!
Stuff like
there
that.
You go,
yes. You have a SpongeBob and an extra.
Oh my God! This is exciting. I love it.
Let me tell you, Jasmin,
you might ask him
a question.
You want me to ask him now?
Ask him. It's perfect.
So wait, I was gonna ask you the question later, but I guess I'm gonna ask you now. I wanted to know if you could ask Tita, if she could be my madrina de social media.
Mira, nena, pero like, is there like a baptism or something? Like a church you could go to? You gotta let me know, because I gotta get a nice dress for it. I gotta go to La Tita and get a dress. I gotta get ready. You gotta get right from Ghana, right?
That's amazing.
Victor, you have made Jasmin's life because she's
it is complete.
Oh my gosh.
Dan, this is
Jasmin,
just...
stand up and show us your shirt. Everybody, if you guys don't know, he has merch available.
Yes.
Tita,
you better get it. Fíjate.
You better get it. And so, Victor, let us know your website really quickly so we can kind of put it in so that people know where they could get their Tita merch and their cup.
For sure. It's really simple. It's titasworld.com. Tita's World, TITAS world.com. We've got everything from t-shirts to coffee mugs to book bags to journals to sweaters like the one I'm wearing now.
Yeah.
And it's, and then of course, if you've never seen her show or you want to catch up on episodes, you can go to YouTube, just type in Tita, she'll actually just pop up. But if you want to go to her channel directly, it's youtube.com/lowercase c I can't even say it, /
There it goes.
World. But I guess you'll have it somewhere in the information for people to see.
Yes.
And get ready.
Get
to
ready. Wow.
Yeah.
Laugh. Oh my goodness. So funny.
Get your cocktails ready because Tita's World is amazing. And that's why it was so amazing to have you on this platform because, and which brings me to my next question for you is that we don't really see a lot of Puerto Rican culture in the media. And when it comes to cartoons, like my daughter would be able to resonate with that because that's how I sound. Puerto Rican from the Bronx, Puerto Rican from the High Puerto Rican from the Bronx. The girls have been, Brooklyn. Me and Nancy are from, Nancy's from Chelsea. I'm from Hell's Kitchen. So we could so relate with Tita. So what do you think? Do you think that there's a lot of representation of, I would say, like inner city, urban Puerto Rican culture, like in the media?
I don't think there's enough of it where it feels like a normal thing we see on TV, or that, we don't see, like the only time we get a chance to see that culture sort of is a lot of times when it's like you'll see like your cop shows, your detective shows, where they have to deal with characters that live in our neighborhoods, right? So then you might see, and then once in a while, you might get a cop or a detective that is from our neighborhood, has our nuances to a degree. But in terms of like the deeper home cooking nuances that we have, like stuff that Tita does, a lot of that stuff is like not quite normalized yet. Like it's not. And what's funny about it is that it's a part of American culture. Like we've been here for so long, and a lot of our influences as Latinos, let's say just in New York City, right? We absorb stuff from many different people, from Jewish, Italian. You know, we've got almost like we've absorbed some of those sounds. They've influenced the way we speak English. You know, so I think what would be nice is to see like this be normalized on TV, where it's not like we've got to get one of these shows in to help sell a product or to fit a demographic. No, this is just a part. Just like the Jewish community, you know, when they used to use like Yiddish, we've got our own nuances, which are part of our culture that come from wherever back home is for us, whether it's Puerto Rico, DR, Cuba, you know, Central and South America. So to answer your question, and sorry to go on such a long answer there, but I think it's true. I think we don't have enough of it yet, where it's just normal on TV, where it doesn't feel like we got to get that one thing on. You know, it's just like, okay, we got another one and another one.
I so agree, because I think that's what really hit home for me, is that when I saw that and I came across that, I was like, oh my God, like if I don't shoot my shot right now to have this on our show, it so embodies everything that, like I said, that we encountered. And that's something that we talk about on our show. We talk about how as women, we struggle trying to get out of the cultural norms. You already know, Tita's cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we're the modern day mamas, where now, you know, we're out there, we're working. It's a little bit more different. Now we're looking at pizza like, yo, that's looking like a good meal.
Tita would talk shit about us.
So much shit.
I'm pouring out again.
on here.
How much money you have? You guys act like tobacco fellas or something.
That's right.
Tita be cursing us out, saying fíjate. You guys need to cook some rice and beans, some gandules.
Because even
I feel like
what is this pizza every night?
I feel like Tita will get on me that the fact that I don't have Vicks Vaporub in my medicine cabinet.
You know, it's funny, my whole life, it's always been in my house, and I don't know who bought it. Like, even after I got married, and like it just appeared in the medicine cabinet. I think it's like magic. It just, if you're, you know, certain community, your things just pop up. You don't know how it got there. But we got a big one at the house.
Your wife, I'm telling you, your wife bought it, and when the kids get sick, she puts the Vicks on the bottom of the foot with the socks on.
She does.
Oh my God. Ain't that the truth?
She does. She's like this. She got a big like glop of it, and she's like, that's her face.
Make the sign of the cross with it though.
Yeah, right.
Just to make sure. Let's just make it right. You're healing while you're placing it, you know, while you're rubbing it.
Yeah. Because you know, it's a mixture of the vape, the Vicks Vapor Rub with love.
Yes.
Yes.
And you got to put God's blessing in it too.
And God's blessing.
Always.
So you
Always.
can
Get
you
it
know,
right.
heal out all that, you know, take out all that energy, that bad energy that's making you sick.
Right.
Oh, you can put that shit on mosquito bites too. It works. I'm telling you.
Burn, it doesn't burn. I never tried it.
God. Well, for anybody who's just jumping in, we are talking all things Victor Cruz here at Mama's Cocktail Hour. We are diving into the amazing Tita that Victor Cruz has created. So welcome to YouTube Live for everybody just joining in. I just can't. I'm so excited to talk all things Tita. Whose question is next, ladies? Come on, jump right in.
My question is, so first, as you know, or may not have realized, I love me some Tita. when we were introduced to it, it was crazy. Like we all binge watched all the episodes. Later on, we'll tell you all about our favorites. But one of the things that stuck out was that it made us almost nostalgic. Like it was so relatable. And one of the reasons I'm having such a love affair is because she's literally, I can picture like my titis, my madrinas, like I can picture a little bit of every one of those women that I grew up with in her. Yeah. I showed it to my mom and she was like, oh my gosh, she sounds like how we used to sound when we grew up. And I was like, you still sound like that, but okay.
she grew out of
Sorry
it.
to bust your bubble, but you still sound like that, Mom.
I'm like, okay. So, and when you said Valencia, she almost died. But we absolutely love the way you were able to like personify inner city culture, but most specifically our inner city culture. So what inspired you to do Tita? Like what was your inspiration behind Tita? Was it one specific person? Was it a whole bunch of women in your life? Like where did she come from?
Yeah, for me, I've had a lot of I have a lot of strong women in my life. You know, my mom, for the longest time, I always used to say that my mom was my superhero, that people had Batman, they had Spider-Man, but my mom was my superhero because my mom has never gave up on her kids. She's done whatever she had to do. Even when my dad was like, you know what, I'm gonna just take a quick break. I'll be right back. And then come back and be like, you know what, I need another break. And then head back out. And mom was always there. And she never gave up, even when she was going through her own tribulations and crises. And so for me, you know, she is my number one hero. And so I love the strength of the women in our community, especially women like Tita. There was a woman when I was in high school who reminded me, who was kind of like Tita. She was a school aide. And she used to yell at the kids, and she always had her purse. She always kept her
purse.
Yes.
Never
the purse killed me.
Everywhere.
Yeah. She always kept her purse. And she would yell at the kids, "Mira, get down from there!" You know, the kids would never listen to her. They'd just be running around. And so I was just like, I've been knowing about Tita since I was in my teenage years. Like I always knew that I was going to create a character like this, but I didn't have it clear yet. And then later on, because of all like cousins and aunts and my own mom, I just kind of grabbed that energy and created this voice that I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Like I said earlier, I just would prank call people and I would do it in jokes. And then during pandemic, just came up this idea of like, let me experiment it by doing it as an animation. And when I did the first episode where it was called The Interview. And she is, she was a school aide. Now she's not really working, so she needs a new job. And all her nuances, people reacted to it in a major way. And I said, wow, I think I've got something special here. I moved on to the second episode, same reaction and more. And I think the third episode was the confirmation, which was Tita reads to the kids.
My God!
Okay, wait, hold on. Victor, you gotta do it.
Oh my gosh.
I need you to do it for me right now, please, for our fans, very quickly.
And then the three bears, they left, and después came Goldilocks to the house. Una presenta because nobody invited her.
Yo,
how many times I got called by my grandma?
Yes. Listen, that was it. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like
that's why it's so relatable. Like seriously, when you hear her talk, all these things, all these images, all these memories, they just flash through your mind. Like when in Hansel and Gretel, when you Tita called the husband un bobo. I think I said un bobo, and I was like, yo.
But when you said la fez, ella era fea.
La fea. Where's my fea?
And it's so crazy because it's like we didn't even realize how much we needed that and how much you're right, it's not out there. And like, yeah, I want some more of that. Like, it's us. It's so relatable. It's super nostalgic. Like, all of a sudden, I'm like, yo, I want to call my Titi.
Not for nothing though. I think that this needs to definitely head to Netflix.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we saw the Netflix pitch. It was super dope. We're gonna be promoting that for you till infinity and beyond, because it needs to be on Netflix, and my daughter needs to watch this.
Absolutely,
she needs to.
Yes.
And my favorite one was the Three Kings. So if we want to the Three Kings, because my mother didn't really do it, but it's so funny because my aunt did, or my aunt used to have the water by the door and all of that. So for me, it was like, oh shit, So I can so understand that situation. It's so dope.
And the little girl in that episode, that's voiced by my daughter. My daughter.
Really?
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. So she plays a character on the show now. She asks me every day, so Dad, when are you gonna bring me back? It's like, I gotcha.
For real, Dad, you need to bring her back.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Dad. Taking forever,
So who else is in your videos? Is it just your daughter, or I mean, is it you still doing all the voices, or have you added other people in?
I've only added 2 additional voices. Everybody else on the show has been me. The only 2 additional voices is my daughter in that Three Kings episode. And then in the episode of Rosemary's Baby, the woman with the angel from heaven says she's a very close friend of mine, almost like a sister. Goes by Spiritual Warrior, also known as Glennis. She's the only other actress that has voiced a character, but yeah, that's it. I got everybody else.
Wait, so you do the Karen too, the one that called the police with her mind?
Yeah, I do Karen's voice as well. And
oh my goodness.
That little skit right there, that was so funny, but at the same time, it was kind of powerful, because when she was like, oh my God, what did you do? You called her with your mind? It was like so relevant to what's going on where this situation was happening. So it's like she's talking about social issues, but in such a regular way, but it's still like powerful. You know what I'm saying?
So powerful.
I think that's dope, because it's like showing what we're going through in our neighborhood, because it's based in our neighborhood. Oh, and when you went on the spiel about, but when the Bronx was burning, all of this was happening.
Oh
yes.
That was on point. That was happening now in the moment. Exactly.
Yep. That's so dope how you do it so subtly. You know what I mean? Like, it's done subtly, but you can still, kind of take it and be like, okay, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, because preserving culture is so important, but sorry to cut you off. Yeah, that's one thing.
No, go ahead. No, it's go ahead, talk what you want.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that, like, preserving our culture is so important. And there's a lot of contributions that we've made, that our parents have made, our grandparents and great-grandparents made, that we can't forget about. And the Bronx burnings was such a huge one for me, because I remember as a kid, there was so many empty lots and burnt down buildings. And, I remember the empty lots, and they were slowly building up the Bronx, but it was normal. It was normal for the Bronx to look that way. And it didn't faze me, none, and I'm in the South Bronx during like crack epidemic, and like drugs are everywhere. But even that doesn't even faze me, But then, things change, but, we can't forget that these things happened. And when you go back before that, right, Puerto Ricans first coming to New York City or to Chicago or to other areas of the United States, and just some of the things that they went through, I definitely plan to preserve some of that stuff as well down the line.
Really? That's so amazing. And when you're saying that brings me to another question that I have for you was, what do you think, what kind of obstacles did you face being a Hispanic Latino in the acting community? Do you think it's more difficult for us because like stuff like Tita is not really normalized on TV? And, do you feel like you struggle? Is it a different type of struggle for Latinos?
What's interesting for me, like I sometimes can pass as like other groups, and people don't necessarily know. They might think that I'm half Irish, half Black, or like some people might think I'm Jewish or Italian. Like they don't necessarily know. And so I'm able to kind of like move around sometimes. But then my name, because my name is Victor Cruz, sometimes they immediately just put me in the roles that a person with the name Victor Cruz should play. And so sometimes I have these internal battles where I say, you know, I can do all the characters on that particular show, but they'll only bring me in for this kind of character, sometimes because of my name, you know. And I think the challenges vary, right? So when you think of our Afro-Latino, you know, brothers and sisters, like more dark skin versus fair skin, you know, there was a time when, like, as a Latino, you're only getting the role of a criminal, you know, or different levels of criminal. And then, you know, things have changed. Like we get more opportunities, but like I was mentioning earlier, there's still a lack of, it's still not normal for us to be the main doctor, the main person. The show can only just be us, right? That's still not quite normal yet. I think it has changed dramatically for the Black community, but that still has its challenges.
Absolutely.
So, but I think we live in a time now where you can really build your own, which is what you ladies have done, right? You've got a platform here that we couldn't necessarily have 20 years ago, because we had to go into a radio station and probably pitch a show and hope that they'll pick us. And that had its own politics. So to really answer your question, I faced different types of challenges, you know, and I even faced challenges from myself. I also had a complex one time that I didn't look Latino enough to play the characters I thought I was going to play. Because think about it, the media and films, they said, this is what Latinos look like. When you go back to West Side Story, they're depicting us as being brown skinned, and even a lot of those actors were not Latino, but they were painted brown. Even Rita Moreno herself is painted brown. And
they look purple.
And they look purple, you know. Even she expressed, like, you know, we come in all colors. Like, you don't have to paint it brown. And the way that she was responded to that comment was, "What are you, racist?" And she was just like, "Where's that coming from?"
What?
She was younger. She was younger, you know, at that time, and she didn't know what to say. You know, now she's not going to hold her tongue with that kind of commentary. But so that was my story, right? Everybody's going to have their own version of that.
Correct, right. I
think the challenges, but you know,
I saw that you played a cop just recently, and I think you the good cop, is that?
Oh, the good cop.
Yeah, I love that role. I love the comedic role. But you were embodying an Italian, or?
Yeah, so the character wasn't a Latino cop. He was more of an Irish sergeant on the force.
Right.
So I sort of just played it more American. Didn't really have like the Latino nuances that I'm more familiar with. So I might lean more into like Italian or Irish or Jewish, you know.
That's super dope that you can kind of fall in between the two, because some people here, I know, at least can't do an accent. If it was the
I can't do an accent. I can't do it to save my life. It's a running joke. I'll try one accent and I sound like totally something different. It never goes the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, that's all right. But I know there's some things you can do that some of us can't, right? We all got our gifts, so.
Exactly. And that for sure is not mine.
So. Well, for anybody just joining us, we have Victor Cruz again. We are talking all things Tita and all things Latino, which I love. Also, I know that I don't think Nancy let us know what was your favorite episode, Nance.
Rosemary's Baby. I cannot. The first time I seen that episode, you don't have that moment. You kind of look, oh my gosh, look at the baby, and you're like, oh, and the baby was just, I couldn't. I cracked up so hard. And I had the moment, and when that baby just turned around and Tita was like, "Ay," her reaction is the funniest thing. It's those things that people think about, but Tita was just so bold. My favorite.
It definitely says everything that you're thinking in your head.
Oh my God.
We all have family members here that will say that out loud, like,
"Ay, that baby's ugly. Ay, I don't know what they did. They must have done the wrong. I don't know what kind of position. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it."
You know, just.
Funny. It's so crazy that you say that, because this week we actually just had a podcast slight episode yesterday when we were talking confidence, because insecurities, like you were discussing, Victor, they can hold you back, right? Because if you're insecure about something and you don't really want to be yourself, that can block your own blessings. And I know, like, do you feel like that's something that you encountered? Like you said, insecurities. What were some of the insecurities that you had?
Yeah, for me, you know, it for sure, you know, insecurities of like being comfortable with my own voice, being comfortable with my own skin, like who I am. And there was I really didn't know who I was. You know, I was trying so hard to be like somebody else, or also trying to be in somebody's like club. You know, you're always trying to find where you can exist, or where you find is your place. You know, and some of us will spend the rest of our lives trying to do that. And which is so beautiful about Tita, right? Because Tita was the first time that I did something that I wasn't trying to like get people to see. I wasn't trying to sell them on anything. There was no formula. I was just being honest. And I thought to myself, what's funny to me, and like what's funny to my own community of people, you know, like what do we love? And sometimes we forget that in our own community, there are millions and millions of people waiting for something that is for them. And for the longest time, I was trying so hard to take what I do and put it out in the world to be accepted by somebody else. And even a time where maybe I was prepared to even compromise my voice a little bit to try to fit in a place that wasn't necessary. You know, it's not to say that, you know, if I get a job tomorrow, will I not work on there? You know, that's a part of the world. It's, you know, of course, I'm a working actor, and it's part of my job. But I don't have to walk on that set selling myself short. I don't have to walk on that set not knowing who and what I am. And, you know, and I've gotten some help along the way. You know, I have an amazing spiritual teacher who, for the first time, told me to look at myself in the mirror and to see myself for who and what I was. I never really looked at myself. You know, you look at yourself, you're gonna brush your teeth, you're gonna, you know, or even to say, or even to love yourself, right?
Yes, love yourself.
We can say that, you know, we got to love ourselves, but do we ever actually love ourselves? What we end up doing is we will help other people. We will love them 20 times more than we love ourselves.
Right.
And it's such a crime to our journey, because we also deserve all that wonderfulness that we're going to give out. We deserve it to ourselves.
That's right.
So that was what helped me with my insecurities in a major way. I'm not the same person that I was 15 years ago, for sure. You have a lot of people. I had a lot of people around me that didn't necessarily want the best for me. A lot of people that were maybe around just for opportunity. And I'm such a kind individual. I can't even see that stuff, you know, unless somebody's like, hey, you got to be aware. These people don't want this greatness for you. So you just keep your eyes open.
Wow. That's something that we're learning in this journey. And I love how you say that, because I think this is why Mamas kind of came about, is because yes, we're mothers, yes, we're women, but we are so much more, and we still want to live through our passion and our dreams. And that's why I think that really resonates with us. And like I said, I can't say it enough. Like, Tita needs to be on all platforms. Tita needs to be on Netflix. Netflix, if you listen, Tita needs to come on Netflix.
Come on, agreed. Right now.
Come on, Netflix.
Come on,
You know, what's dope too is that you spoke about insecurities. Like, we speak so much about women and their insecurities that it's almost a breath of fresh air to hear a grown man say, listen, I also had to take a step back. I had to look at myself and actually love myself. I think in our culture, we're ingrained that we take care of everybody before we take care of ourselves. Yeah. So it's interesting, and also, like I said, a breath of fresh air to hear a man say, gonna try to do it a little different. I'm gonna love myself as well, because that's basically what we're trying to do here as well. We're trying to like empower each other, and then in turn empower other women who are going through the same thing to be like, yeah, I don't want to just be a mom. I don't just, you know, I want to be my own person. I want to live out my passion. And I see you're doing that with Tita, because you're very, very proud of Tita. You could see that.
Oh,
and I think that's dope.
I love her. And I just want to give just a quick little shout out to my teacher, Guru Enlightenment, who is also a mom. She, you know, she actually has if you want to learn about her, and if you have an Amazon Prime membership, she's got a new documentary that I was a part of in helping to produce, called Don't Believe in What I Say, Believe in What You See. It's on Amazon Prime. You get to learn her story, but you also get to learn her approach, and you get to see her compassion and her honesty. And, you know, she's another one of those very important women in my life that is very strong. And that, you know, thank God I opened myself up to listen to, you know, which has helped me even listen to women like my mom differently, my sister, my wife, you know, and women like yourselves, right? We're here sharing, and we are on, you know, we're all humble, and we're all sharing together. Like, nobody is better than no one else. We all have different journeys and individualities. And I'm beyond humbled to be on this show. To be very honest. And it means the world to me.
Hold on. We have to have you, Victor, if you would. I would love to have you do a drop in Tita's voice about Mama's Cocktail Hour. I will cherish it forever.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'll listen, if you want, I'll make a visual drop for you. And you can plug it into your, I'll do one of these. Yeah.
Yo, we're dying.
We're blown away. We're so humble.
Yo, you see how dope my madrina de social media is?
She's gonna. Madrina phenomenal. Wait. When's the bautismo?
We gotta wait because it's pandemic. We gotta wait till the church is open. It's all virtual. We're gonna do a Zoom bautismo.
Yes, we gotta do a Zoom. We gotta come dressed with the shirt. You know? We don't have to have
you don't have to dress up. You just have to wear a Tita.
You have to dress up.
Okay, so Victor Cruz was nice enough to do girls, I can't remember what it's called. A giveaway, yes, thank you. So
the merch is dope.
The merch is dope. So we're gonna just announce the winners really quickly, and then the winners, you guys can hit us up on Instagram, and then Victor, I'll give you their information.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. We have winner number 1 is Josie Cam 74. She's on our Instagram.
Josie Cam 74.
And then the second one is Baking Life Sweeter with Mary P. And she's a big Tita fan too. So shout out to those 2 Instagram followers. I will be hitting you up, or please hit me up in the DM if you guys are watching now, so that we can give you the stuff. And yes, you have a lot of Tita fans. I'm telling you, Tita got a lot of groupies now. Jasmin being numero uno.
Let me tell you, number one fact. The merch is really good quality too. The shirt is awesome, and I love the mug. It's so pretty. Like it's just really, really cute. So if you guys don't know, now you know. You need to go on to Tita's World and get some merch, because it is super cute. Super, super cute. Very stylish too. And Victor, go ahead, John. No, I was just gonna say, there's a question that we usually ask. I'm not sure if Zeta's ready for me to ask that question, but it's a question we usually ask all guests on Mama's Cocktail Hour.
Let's go,
so
girl. Let's give it to him.
So you know that we are all moms. We are all Latina moms.
Yes.
So our question to every guest is, what was and is your relationship with your mother?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, my mom is she's the first woman I fell in love with.
Yes.
That's my sweet.
Yeah, she's my superhero. She is just the very best person I know. She taught me about love and compassion at a very young age. And I love my kids the way that I do because of the lessons that she taught me. So she's just the very best. I couldn't have picked a better mom, and she rocks. So yeah, that's our relationship is fantastic.
What does she think about Tita? What does she think about Tita?
Yeah.
My God.
She loves Tita. She loves Tita. And people always ask her, did I make Tita after her? But they don't have the same voices, right? But a lot of Tita's experiences and where she's from is where my mom is from. They're from the same neighborhood because that's where I grew up. These are the things that I saw. So like they went to the same high school, Tita and my mom, but they didn't know each other.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, she loves Tita. She's my biggest support system. She's like my public relations person. She'll
Oh my God.
She'll buy merchandise, and then I come to the house and she's wearing the baseball shirt. She's like, "Oh yeah, it fits me perfect,"
Oh, that's so great. Well, listen, I want you to quickly just drop some of your info so that people know where they can find Tita's World and know a little bit more about your website before we leave. All things Tita.
I love the way you guys sing that song.
So again, if you guys want to check out Tita, if you've never met her before, you want to catch up on episodes, log on to YouTube. You can literally just type in her name, Tita, Tita, or if you want to go directly to her channel, type in youtube.com/c/Tita's World. That is the channel. If you want to follow me on Instagram, and Tita also has her Instagram page, which we're slowly building because she doesn't really know technology, so she joined late. But you can follow me on Instagram at Victor Cruz Films, with an S at the end, Victor Cruz Films, or you can follow Tita at Tita Animation on IG. She's also on TikTok as well. She's slowly building it up. So it's also Tita Animation. Oh no, it's Tita.
Listen, Tita's on TikTok, and I'm not even on TikTok yet.
She's trying to be. We're gonna get some help. We're gonna get her some assistance very soon.
Well, you guys heard it here. That's where you can find all of Tita. If you guys haven't subscribe now. Mama's Cocktail Hour. Hit the notification button so you guys can be alerted when there's a next video. Thank you for coming. Victor Cruz, any final thoughts? Yes. We so appreciate you coming here, and we hope this won't be the last time.
No, I think the next time you should have Tita on the show, and we can arrange it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we can actually. Here's the thing: we can arrange it, and it can be live. And it can be live right from her living room.
Oh my God!
Stop it!
So we can.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be great.
That would be so amazing.
I can't. Is that when she's gonna baptize me?
Could be.
Oh my God, we are just guys. We are Tita groupies here. We love all things to Tita. Victor, thank you for coming on. We're so humbled. We are so blessed.
Definitely, we're gonna be supporting.
Yes.
All day, every day. Yes.
All right, guys. And I'll be supporting you guys too. So we'll.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, Mamas, Victor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I think we're off live now, guys. Do you guys see the off live button?